Hello everybody, Flying Scotsman 4472 back again with another review, and today's review is of something quite interesting actually. I've actually had this for quite a while, and I meant to make a review of it, but I just never got the time to do it. But yeah, now I'm making a review of it, especially since I haven't seen many people actually make reviews of this item, and that is the Sodor Cup Racers 9-pack from Thomas and Friends All Engines Go, the Sodor race for the Sodor Cup, and it comes with 9 characters as well as the first place trophy. So the Sodor Cup trophy. These are the push-along die-cast metal engines, and the reason why I wanted this pack specifically is because this pack comes with a lot of exclusive characters. Specifically, I think it's Riff and Jiff, Jiff and Riff, Riff and Jiff. I don't remember which one. And then I think this one's Frederico, and then this one's Verona, although I could be wrong about that. Or actually, no, this one's Frederico, this one's Verona. So yeah, either way, let's get it. Let's just take a quick look at the box. So the box is actually pretty stock standard. I got a little picture of Thomas up there. Got the names of all the characters at the top. Got Thomas and Friends logo. Interesting that there's no, like, specifically All Engines Go branding. And then on the back, you have this beautiful picture. I do really like this picture. This beautiful picture of Thomas, Kana, and Frederico and Verona. And then the names of the characters in the pack are at the top right there. So yeah, honestly, really nice box. So let's get into it. So we're just going to slide this out because I already have this open. I also do really like this backdrop. It is very All Engines Go in its design. And let me get out the plastic so you can see, but really, really pretty. I really like this backdrop. Very nice. But yeah. So now let me readjust and let's get into the actual engine. Alright, so now that we're here, we're going to get into all the engines. So we're going to start with the basic ones. Then we're going to move on to the exclusive engines. So first, the first basic engine we're going to talk about is Thomas himself. And honestly, I love these push-alongs. For one thing, they are very adorable. But two, they look concerningly accurate to the artist renditions. Like, if there is one thing I will credit Mattel on, is that they did an amazing job of taking a 2D character and making them into a 3D toy. Because, like, if I were to hold this right here, this looks exactly like Thomas from a side angle in the show. The face is very adorable, looks just like Thomas from the show. The actual body looks just like Thomas. The new wheel design. I like how they have the little different colored thing right here to resemble the animation. And how, like, that's what the animation does to make it look like the wheels are going fast. Again, just looks very accurate to the way it does in the show. Do I particularly like this design of Thomas? No. Do I necessarily like All Engines Go? No. However, it is very cute. It is very adorable. And whatever, but it is very accurate to the actual show. And so we're going to actually compare it to the other push-along Thomas I have, which is the original push-along Thomas. So, as you can see, completely different looking, because these are from 2 entirely different versions of the show. The face is completely different. Sides completely different. Detailing is completely different, but honestly, if I were to choose which one I'd want as a toy, I'd choose this one. And what these toys actually make me question is, why couldn't they make this as good of a toy as this is? Because this is an amazing toy. This is just okay. Because if the detail and the time and the effort that was put into this imagine how much people would actually like this toy. just think about that. But between the two that I actually like, I do say I prefer this one. So yeah, that's Thomas. So next one we're going to go over is Percy. Oh, and I forgot to mention this with Thomas. They actually have painted buffers now, which is something that they didn't have on the old push-alongs. Really, really nice Percy. Again, extremely accurate to the way he looks in the show. His face is just so adorable. Percy is my favorite character from All Engines Go, from the little bit that I've seen. He's very cute. So yeah. Again, lots of nice detailing. The dome and whistles are both separately fitted pieces. Again, very nice detailing for as simple as it is. The wheelbase, completely different to Thomas's. Like, technically, it's the same wheelbase. However, different placement for the wheels, which is something that even Push-Along didn't do. They just used the same wheelbase. Percy, I think, is one of those engines that actually, between the CGI and All Engines Go, actually kind of still resembles Percy. Like, his cab isn't too crazy big compared to his boiler, and his wheels, like, he looks more proportioned, especially compared to, like, Thomas. He looks better proportioned, and I don't know why he does, because his cab is actually the same size as Thomas. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just because Percy is known for being such a small and squat engine, so maybe it looks better on Percy. But compared to Thomas, Percy actually looks better in this style. And he looks very adorable, which I think just fits Percy very much. So, yeah, Percy, pretty good model, actually. And now we get to Diesel. Actually, I'll save Diesel for the exclusive, because his version is exclusive to this. Next, we'll do Kana, which this is my first exclusive All Engines Go character. And honestly, I really like Kana. She's a really good design. Again, looks just like she does in the show. Her face is really nice. And the thing is I will say this one thing. If having these printed faces is what it takes to get different faces on engines, like, because I know Wooden Railway is doing the same thing, if you guys haven't seen my Wooden Railway reviews. If that's what it takes to get different facial expressions, I'm perfectly fine with that, because Wooden Railway has shown that even with the printed faces, you can still get a good face from it. So I'm perfectly fine with these printed faces, actually. But yeah, Kana has really nice detailing, differently sized wheels, which is nice. Kana doesn't just use the same wheels as Thomas and Percy. Really, really nice detailing along the side. Looks just like she does from the show. I like these little transparent pieces that have been put on her model. There's the name Kana on the bottom. And she has no front coupling because of her skirt. So she seems to resemble like a bullet train, which is kind of cool. Because apparently she's like related to Kenji or something, is all I know. But yeah. Then we have Hero, which is actually a really nice engine to have, because Hero did not make an appearance in Push-Along. The closest we sort of got to Hero in Push-Along was Yongbao. And the reason why I say closest is just because their engine types share similarities. At least how Push-Along would make it. So I guess the closest comparison you can make is to, like, Yongbao. And even this version of Hero is just so much better than the other Hero, like, even than, like, Yongbao, or how I think your Hero would look similar to. And that's why I'm so interested to see the new version of Yongbao, because I actually have Yongbao, so it'll be very interesting to compare the two, to see how they look. But Hero, I think, looks really nice. His tender looks just like Hero's tender from the original show. Like, if this was a push-along, this would be his tender. Which I will say, the one thing is that I do like the new push-along tenders, because they actually have weight to them because of this. On the bottom, they have this little section of the tender that has been cut out for metal. And I don't know why they're doing this. I'm assuming because of the complaints, but it gives it a nice sense of weight so the tenders aren't so loose and bouncy like they were in the original push-alongs, because these literally had 0 metal in them, which made them extremely light. With this having even just that little piece of metal, it gives it so much more weight. Now, would I prefer it if it was like the body instead? Yes, but I'm glad that they at least have some metal in it now to keep it from just flying off the tracks. But I hope one day they do go back to making the actual tender bodies metal and not plastic. I do think that that'd be nice. But he has painted buffers on the back, which is really nice. So yeah, but tender, really nice. And gray coal for some reason, so. And then we have Hero, who looks very accurate to how he does in the show. He is missing a back wheel, but they seem to use this big wheel, this big tender engine chassis for all the tender engines, so I'll let it slide, because it's better than what they did with these guys, where yes, they had a different chassis for the tender engines, but it was just like a lengthened version of the tank engine chassis with space in between the wheels. With this, they actually gave them different height wheels, which I think is really nice. Yeah, Hero looks really nice. Really good face, accurate to the show. A nice separate lamp. Really nice smoke deflectors. Nameplate without a name. You got the pinstriping and the window striping there. You got whistles on him, which oddly are not separately fitted. So yeah. And then Hero on the bottom. So he's a really good model, though. I do actually like Hero's model. I know scale-wise, he's not accurate to the scale of the show, because Hero in the show is supposed to be like twice the size of Thomas. But I think for the die casts, this makes sense. Like, they're obviously not going to make a Hero that is literally scale-wise this bigger compared to Thomas. Like, so this is how they are right now. If they were to actually make him scale accurate, he should be probably like this big compared to Thomas. They're not going to do that. So I'm actually fine with them making them this small. Plus, it honestly looks better because they don't look like standard gauge compared to the tank engines, which makes them look narrow gauge. Now we get into the exclusive engines, and so first we're going to start with Diesel, who isn't necessarily exclusive to this set, however, this version of him is. This is an exclusive version because from what I get, he's like a super fan of Frederico and Verona, and so that's why he's painted like this. I think his model looks decent. Again, looks very accurate to the show. Don't know why there's all this purple. I'm assuming it's so that they can highlight some of the other features on him that would normally be black. But, I mean, I don't know. His face is good. I like his face in this pack, actually, because it looks like he's, like, freaking out, because it's like, oh my god, it's Frederico and Verona. So I think that's actually a really nice touch. He doesn't have the raised buffers like the other main characters do, which is interesting, but, yeah. But, I don't know. This is a pretty good model. Now we get into the exclusive characters specifically to this pack. So we're going to start with Riff and Jiff because they have 0 personality and we're only in this pack. So with these exclusive characters, they are the same engine with different colors. That is for both Riff and Jiff and Frederico and Verona. So we're going to get into this. Well, let's start with Riff. Riff is yellow and red. I actually, these guys remind me of like subway cars, or like, yeah, no, that's kind of what they remind me of. They just kind of remind me of like subway cars, and it's very weird to see them like this, but I mean they use the same like rough chassis as Kana, except to make them look bigger they actually go wider than the chassis. Excuse me, which makes them look bigger. I actually really like their faces, and they look good. So yeah, not really much to describe. It's pretty simple. I do like all the details on the side, though. Yeah. I will say Jif is definitely better, though, mostly because of the blue. I like the blue color more. / green, whatever you want to call this, blue or green. So basically whatever was like yellow or pink on Riff is blue on Jif. I think it looks very good. Love the wheels. Got Jif. So yeah. And it's basically the same face, just looking in a different direction and with different eye color. See, that's Riff and Jif. I don't know why I'm putting them in the shed, but I am. Oh, there goes them. Okay. Now we got our final two characters, Frederico and Verona. So we're gonna look at Verona first. Her face is actually really cool. Kind of like it. Again, it's the same face as Frederico, just slight differences to make them look like different characters. Like Verona has like eyelashes to make her more feminine. Eye color is different, and I think that's it. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over a sickness, so getting over a cold. But yeah, so I think detail-wise, both of them, they're basically the same except they're color swapped. It's like everything that's black on Frederico is yellow in Verona, and vice versa. Except for the wheels. The wheels and the chassis are the same, though. But yeah. Overall, just, they're okay. These look like as if they're supposed to be like the Pip and Emma of All Engines Go, except they're rude. Because apparently they're like the antagonists, so. But yeah, I mean, they're not bad. They have nice detail. They have some lights and stuff. They have some cool, like, transparent windows. Interesting to note, they have bolts compared to Riff and Jif, who have screws. Don't know why that is, but for some reason it's different. But yeah. So yeah, that's Frederico and Verona. I was about to end this, and then I forgot that I almost forgot about the most important part of this set, which is the trophy. It looks like how it does in the special. You win first place, Thomas. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Look out for more reviews, because I do have a couple more All Engines Go items, and I do plan to get more, because I actually do really like these push-alongs, because they're really accurate and really nicely detailed. And some of them are a little too good for what they should be. So, thank you all so much for watching. This is Flying Scotsman 4472, signing out. Bye, guys.